Welcome back to the Coconut Wire. I'm Margie Casey with the Brenner Shale and Casey Team Florida Keys Real Estate Group. And this is your weekly pulse on the Middle Keys real estate market. Whether you live here, you're dreaming about living here, or you're trying to figure out what's going on with this market, you are in the right place. I like to start off my show with something fun. Right now, through Sunday, May 3rd, we've got one of the most exciting tournaments of the fishing calendar happening right here in our backyard. It's the 20th annual Offshore Bull and Cow Dolphin Tournament in Marathon. And yes, we're talking about mahi-mahi, not the mammal, the fish. The beautiful, fast, technicolor fish that anglers come from all over the country to chase. Over 100 boats are registered for this event. That's a fleet. The seas are calm. Honestly, the conditions couldn't be more perfect right now. And there's a guaranteed $20,000 on the line. The award ceremony goes down on Sunday evening at Florida Keys Aquarium. If you've never been to a weigh-in at a fishing tournament, it's worth the trip. The energy is something else. To every angler out there on the water this weekend, tight lines, that's our way of saying good luck. May your reels sing and your coolers stay full. All right, now let's talk about the other kind of big catch, the one that happens on dry land. It's time for your Middle Keys real estate market update. April is officially in the books, and I've got two things for you this week. Your standard week-over-week numbers, plus a look back at the full month because April told us some things, some good, some things that need a second look. Let's start with what happened this week. 10 homes closed, that's 10. And if you've been following along all month, you know that that number matters. For the first 3 weeks of April, we were sitting at 5 and then 6, and steady and slow, but then week 4 arrives and boom, 10 closings. That's a 67% jump in a single week. Now, 1 week doesn't make a trend, but that kind of surge after a quiet stretch tells me there's a pent-up demand that's finally starting to convert. The question is whether it will hold. We will be watching week 1 in May very closely. And while those closings were happening, 31 homes went under contract. That's your pipeline. The deals that are coming down the road, the buyers who stepped up, made offers, and got them accepted. 31's a strong number. It tells me there are people out there who are ready to buy. Now, here's where I want to slow down for a minute because days on market is telling a little complicated story this month. This week's average was 132 days. 2 weeks ago, we had a spike all the way up to 196 days as some older, stale listings finally closed. That pulled the average up dramatically. We started the month at 127, so we're roughly right where we began at the beginning of April. 132 days on market is very normal for the Middle Keys. What this does mean is buyers are taking their time, and for sellers, this is a signal to take seriously. If your home isn't generating strong interest in the first 2 or 3 weeks, the market is telling you something about your price. The data this month backs that up loudly. Now, some genuinely encouraging news. We had 10 price reductions this week. And I know that seems like the market is struggling, but here's the thing. Earlier this month, we were seeing 17 and 18 reductions in a single week. 10 is actually an improvement. Sellers are getting more realistic about their pricing right out the gate, and that's a healthy sign. 7 new listings hit the market this week, slightly down from 10 last week. And total active, contingent, and pending inventory now sits at 386 homes. That's actually down from 404 that we had at the beginning of April, which means supply is tightening, slowly but steady. Then there's expireds. 7 homes expired this week, the single highest count in the month. These are listings where the seller and the market simply never found each other. No deal, no price reduction that worked, no takers. 7 in 1 week. In a market this size, it's a number worth paying attention to. It's not catastrophic, but it is a flashing yellow light. So here's the takeaway for April as a whole. The market is moving. Deals are getting done, but the margin for error on pricing is thin. Buyers have more options and more leverage than they've had in years, and sellers who come in priced right from day one, they're the ones walking away satisfied and quickly. Before we get to the deal of the week, I want to give you the full April picture because I think it's really useful to zoom out and look at the month as a whole. Closings were 5, 5, 6, and then 10. Flat for 3 weeks and then 4 week surge. The trend is encouraging, but we still need to see that hold. Under contract was the wildest category, 33, then 11, then 39, then 31, extreme volatility. What that likely reflects is the timing of deals when they batch and clear more than any dramatic shift in the market. Week 4 actually was a more solid week, and it is where we started at the beginning of the month, so the inventory is intact, just a little lumpy ride. Price reduction oscillated this month, 17, 9, 18, 10. There's no clear direction here, just noise. Sellers are reducing intermittently, which is consistent with a market that's recalibrating and not in a panic mode. Expireds were slowly rising, 5, 2, 4, 7. Week 4 reading 7 was the highest of the month. In a healthy market, expires stay flat or they fall. A rising count points to where sellers are overpriced, or we're seeing a softening in demand at certain price points. And finally, total inventory fell from 396 to 383 over the 4 weeks, a roughly 5% decline. Tighter supply usually supports prices, but it can slow transactions down when buyers can't find what they're looking for. Bottom line, in April, it's a market that's working and it's demanding. Buyers have leverage, sellers have a real market, one that rewards honest pricing and punishes wishful thinking. And if you're sitting on the fence and thinking about that, it's time for us to have a conversation. Okay, the best part of the show I enjoy the most. We're talking about deal of the week, and it's time to go condo shopping. There's a building that I think is genuinely underappreciated, Bonefish Towers specifically. Units 601 and 603 right now are on the market, priced under $500,000. Here's why this catches my attention. Bonefish Towers is the only high-rise building in the Middle Keys. That's not a marketing line, it's a fact. There's nothing else like it here, and for a buyer who wants a low-maintenance, oceanfront lifestyle without a 7-figure price tag, it deserves a look. The building has been through significant renovation cycle in the past few years, and we're talking about a new roof, new elevators, and a whole list of improvements that have been made. Now, there's some hefty special assessments that have also happened in the past 3 years to fund those upgrades. I want to be transparent about that, but here's the thing. Those assessments are behind them now, and the work is done. The building is in solid shape. The amenities are genuinely lovely. A gorgeous swimming pool, tennis court, fitness center, an outdoor tiki hut and grilling area. And the building has an on-site maintenance and management team. So if you're a buyer who doesn't want to be fielding calls about a leaky faucet or a broken gate that matters, this is very helpful. Monthly HO fees are around $1,000 a month. The building does not allow pets, but it does allow monthly rentals. And then there's the views. From the upper floors of this building, stunning, and I mean that. On a clear day, you've got water in every direction and the views of the Coco Plunge Channel where the fishing boats come and go. It's so fun to watch. If you know the Middle Keys, you know how rare and how special that kind of vantage point is at Bonefish Towers. For a buyer looking for an oceanfront condo with real amenities, a well-maintained building, and a good price point under $500,000, you want to take a look at this building. We have a couple units off market in that building that you may be interested in as well. Just direct message me or give me a call and we'll set something up. No pressure, but you want to take a look at this building. Whether the Bonefish Towers conversation has you curious or the monthly numbers I walked you through have you thinking about your home's value, I want to hear from you. That's genuinely why I do this show, to help people. You can call or text me directly at 305-783-3395. Ask for Margie Casey. I am your local expert with the Brenner, Shale, and Casey team. No pressure, no sales pitch, just an honest conversation with someone who eats, breathes, and lives in this market. If you're a buyer, I can show you what's out there, including things that never hit the public market. If you're a seller, let's talk about what your home's actually worth and how to get it sold, not wishful thinking. And if you're just curious, that's okay too. Information is free and we're happy to help. That's a wrap on this week's Coconut Wire. If you enjoyed the episode, hit follow. It's the best way to make sure you never miss an update. Share it with a friend or someone who's thinking about making the move to the Florida Keys, or anyone who loves a good real estate story. To everyone out on the water this weekend for the Tom Thumb tournament, tight lines. We'll see you at the weigh-in. And to the rest of you, keep enjoying that salt air. I'll talk to you soon.